Welcome to Bullish and Beyond. It's Beery the Bull. I'm your AI co-host. Join myself, Brian the MacMan, and JT Knows Things while we dive deep into the world of stocks, crypto, and how to live a bullish life. It's time to get bullish, and there's no better place to start than right here. Let's dive in.
Hey everyone, welcome to another incredible episode of Bullish and Beyond.
Let's go.
Believe it or not, it's episode 29. So thank you everyone for continuing to tune in and hear all our bullish thoughts and insights. And just like every episode, we have a great bit of bullish stuff to talk about today. We got a lot of stuff happening in the AI world. We got OpenAI's agent out. We have Tesla reporting tomorrow, along with Google reporting. So a lot going on in that space. And wow, crypto is off to the races. We have some red on the ceiling in JT's crypto den because Bitcoin's a little bit range bound. But wow, alts are popping.
Popping. Absolutely popping. This is, I might need to change the color. I
feel like midway. I mean, there's something in the middle here. I mean, your fund's not red, just to clarify.
Correct. Yeah. Alts. This is where I earn my fee. You know, not all the alts will rally. This happens every bull market. Very specific things start doing well, and it usually goes from fundamentals to lunacy. You can think of it as just a degradation of conscious thought. But what you're going to see is Ethereum outperform Bitcoin. That's usually the first indicator you want.
What's Ethereum up 40% this last month or something? I mean, it's wild.
It's ripping. If it sets a new all-time high, I think that will be the alt rally signal. Ethereum needs to hit 5K, and it needs to do it inside of the next, I think, 30 days for the retail wave. Because what ends up happening is Bitcoin stalls out. Fundamental projects, things that institutions have considered but felt were too risky, they're just looking for alpha. With Bitcoin slowing down, they rotate into higher alpha plays, bigger risk, bigger reward kind of deal. So they'll rotate into Ethereum, and then after Ethereum, they start rotating their ETH into things that are outperforming Ethereum, which then creates this situation where retail has insane FOMO, and they're worried about missing the boat. And we have this
when you see it up 40-50%, and you're like, wow, I don't have any funds in there. You really do feel like you missed out. Then you got to plow some cash in, and you're on the back end of it.
Exactly. You get cut off sides and people rush in, and it gets kind of crazy. Just to give you ideas of how crazy, last time this happened, back in the last 6 months of the bull market in 21, we had 910 billion enter the alts in 6 months, and then $1 trillion leave in the next 3 months.
So it's in and out.
It's
the
violent.
Smart money makes money and gets out.
Yeah, it's violent.
I mean, that's like a lot of these big stock pops. I mean, you see, I mean, there's so many meme stock things going on right now. In particular, today is Kohl's. Kohl's stock went up 100% and then, got halted, and now it's up 35% or something. Absolutely nuts.
Is that a short squeeze? Is that a legitimate?
Yes. Thank you for mentioning that. 50% of the shares were sold short. Oh, wow. Someone just got murdered on the short sideline.
Yeah. I guess Kohl's has no reason to grow 100%.
And then yesterday, this company called Open Door Technologies, they were going absolutely gangbusters. They're like some digital platform for real estate. They were up 300% like yesterday. And it's just some crazy meme stock rally. I don't know if this was a short squeeze or not on this one, but there wasn't like there was any very positive earnings report or anything like that. So it's trading off thin air and speculation, and like you said, people are just rushing in trying to get that alpha. I mean, I looked at it multiple times during the day, and like, I didn't put any money in, just to clarify. But when I wanted to put money in, I could have sold it later. When I checked, they made about 30%, but then another hour later I checked and it was down 40%. So, I mean, it went hyperbolic and then crashed, and it, I don't know if people know, when stocks move that quick, the market makers basically shut it down and you can't trade the stock. So the stock got halted. Yeah. So I
Is that
mean,
is that is that a liquidity concern essentially? Like
you
there's not enough
literally
dollars
you
backing the
can't
outstanding
do it.
shares.
You can't do it fast enough, and it's.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure what the exact trigger is on these, but just in general, I know that if it just moves too fast, it's too aggressive, and they just halt it, let it settle, and then it might open it up half an hour later or something. But the issue is, so if it got halted, hit 4.76 yesterday, and then took a nosedive down to 3. So I mean, lost like 40% in like 20 minutes,
Wow.
and then got halted. But then when it opens up, I mean, you're at the mercy of the market. So be careful when you're trading these meme stocks. I'm not a meme stock trader. I mean, I might randomly do it, but like it's not my thing. It's violent trading,
Yeah.
and you have to be on it 100%. I'm not a day trader, so I'm not sitting here at my computer like trying to time it every 5 minutes. And you have to, if you're playing these stocks that are aggressively moving, more than 10% a day. Like that's not normal.
It's not normal. It's madness. The same stuff happens in the meme coins. You just throw another zero, you get 100x, and then you're putting real currency. You're putting Solana into the project. You're getting Titcoin back. That's a real one. That's actually the top performer.
Oh no!
And
Spelled the way I think it is.
yeah.
Okay.
Tatas,
Okay.
Then it's one of the top 3 delights in the life, I would think. And it at any moment it could be a 9-year-old Taiwanese kid that made this thing. I don't know. It's TikTok.
Yeah, Pump.fun.
Yeah, through Pump.fun. They just click a few buttons, they launch it.
Pump.fun is going public, by the way.
Stop. They're IPOing.
I swear.
Wow.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
the IP market is at a
casino.
frenzy.
Yeah.
What is the valuation? Let's look it up real quick.
That'd be cool. I put Pump.fun, honestly, in the gaming category, like actual gambling. The SEC said meme coins are not going to be recognized as securities or commodities, that it's just a game, essentially. That's what they think. They think Titcoin is no different than the currency you see on a slot machine. So Pump.fun could be the next wave of, online gambling, really.
Well, they're raising $500 million at a $4 billion valuation.
Honestly, that's alpha.
I mean, it'll probably go up. They're giving away 1 trillion tokens at 0.004 of a cent.
So let's look at their token. What's their market cap right now on the token?
It says 1.3 billion on the current circulating market cap.
Yeah, and it's launching fully diluted value 3.83 billion. So it's about the same value as their token.
By the way, this is the AI overview I got when I searched on Google. Google has really stepped it up with their AI overviews, in my opinion.
Okay.
They're reporting tomorrow. I think that their AI is probably undervalued. People are super worried that they're going to lose out in AI search to, ChatGPT has their own search out, and so does Perplexity and, some others. But I think Google still has a ton of super bright people working on these types of projects, and within DeepMind and stuff. I mean, they have some of the smartest people in AI in the world, and they continue to hire. So I don't think it's going anywhere.
Also, they could circumvent all of those concerns with one update on Chrome, which is like one of the most popular browsers in the world. Like, they could just roll something out, and then we stop going to google.com, and natively in Chrome, I have AI in the actual old, URL search bar, instead of it being natively turned into a Google. For people that don't know, back in the late, I think 2018, 2019, Chrome implemented the feature, instead of you having to go to google.com in Chrome, if you just type in your Google search on any new tab in Chrome, it's the search. So
it works in Safari too. I mean, on Apple. So
okay, yeah. So let's just make that thing
make it just a search bar, chat bar, whatever.
Every tab is a chat box. Wow. Okay. Now 2 billion people can,
Yeah.
So it's
And
like,
that's
I'm not
you
too
know,
worried about that.
there's a couple other
They got a
agentic
good
browsers.
moat.
A couple of agentic browsers that come out recently, like Perplexity just launched their browser the other week. And just full disclosure, I haven't actually used either one of them. You have to be on their $200 payment plan, which I don't have. But it sounds like it works just like that. I mean, it's just you're just running an agent, side by side, with your browser and you're back and forth. But the really cool, I just saw some demos of ChatGPT's agent yesterday. And it's cool because it has a lot of tools at its disposal. It has a text-based browser, it has a image-based browser, and then it has a terminal. So it bounces back and forth from whatever it needs. So it'll create some code within terminal, and then it'll go look up something on the text-based browser, and then it'll go verify it on the visual browser to see what it needs to do. It can click and toggle, fill many fields, anything like that. It's very dynamic. And so it's always like checking its own work too. So they were showcasing like how it performed against different tests, and that it beat every other OpenAI model, comparing it to like O3, for example.
Wow.
And the reason's because it could like double verify its work, because it would use its other components to go back and like check its own work. So that was super cool to see, and you can watch the entire flow happening. And it's still a little bit clunky and slow. So I think going into it with an open mind, be careful what data you give it, because it can put it anywhere, at that point. There will be some malicious websites out there, I'm sure. And, Sam Altman mentioned this too, like, be safe about it. Some websites are going to try to hack it and say, please insert your, data here. But, you can control that too. Don't give it things that you don't want. You don't have to give it your credit card. You can do that as the final step, on your own. And it's cool because you can jump into the computer that it has. You literally see a computer within your ChatGPT screen, and then you can click into its computer and take over at any point you want, and you are on its same exact view. So, I can tell it to, book a trip back to Cincinnati to visit you, have it look up all the tickets to my hotel, and then at the absolute last step, I can just click my button on Apple Pay to pay for it. So don't give away any data. So that's what I think is really cool. And who cares, frankly, if it takes, some people out there are complaining it took, 40 minutes to plan the trip. Well, guess what? It wasn't 40 minutes that you were planning it. So go eat lunch and come back and then just check in later.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are we talking about? You can replace all of those tasks. Even if it takes the same amount of time, it's not your time.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? What is the standard? It takes me at least 40 minutes to plan a trip.
I think so too. Your time is worth money. This is just, $200 a month, and you get, a couple hundred uses out of it. They are limiting it because it's, so popular right now. Like on the $20 a month plan, you only get 40 uses. So that could be gone, pretty quickly. You'll be able to pay for more incrementally as well. So, I mean, in general, that's not very much. I mean, giving someone a task for 50 cents, like, that's unheard of.
100%. That's impressive.
And these agents I'm thinking of them kind of like interns. Like, you still need to train them and give them all the right information. They're not like it's like some super intelligence that knows exactly what you want. I mean, if you're going to give it a prompt in your trip, you spell out what the type of hotel you're looking for. Maybe even suggest, I like this, I'm a Hilton member already, tell us stuff like that. And don't hide known facts. Give it the right level of detail, and it's going to go off and, get you the right end result. And 100%. The result when it comes to stocks of all this is that NVIDIA is going to continue to explode, TSM, all these companies that are involved in the supply chain that are then feeding these agent models, because we are at the absolute infancy of agents. This is the year that we are starting to have agents. Imagine the amount that we're going to have in 5 years. I mean, I might personally have 100 agents working for me.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't I?
I mean, just go to blow your guys' mind. Go to YouTube and look at Midjourney from 23 to now.
Oh my!
2 years. 2 years.
Night and day.
It's like, yo, what happened? I mean, they had pixels not merging. They had they had terrible loss of the actual quality of the images they would produce. And then now you can barely tell.
Flawless.
I mean, there's AI comedy pages I follow on social media because they are hilarious. And they're fake because you can see the hue of cartoonish shadowing, and like you just know it's not 100% authentic, but that'll be gone next year.
I was
Like
going to say the ray tracing on the shadows, like they've already figured how to do it in game. So it's almost like spending the money. Like that for them to spin up that image that looks like decently good might cost 10 cents, but to make the perfect one might cost $1 or more. So that it's almost like the model isn't like they wouldn't be able to make it affordable to have it come out as 20 megapixel images.
Right, 100%, and that is only changing with AI working on more compressed algorithms that make those images more resolute with less load,
Yes.
with more efficient hardware from NVIDIA that will then
hardware gets better, compression gets better.
And we got AI working on both the hardware and the compression.
They are.
So it's like Moore's law squared. And that is a terrifying concept because 5 years from now, I think most white collar jobs are going to be struggling. I mean, people say this is an additive thing, but if you could have one analyst do the work of 50 developers because you can use English and an agent to program apps, you're talking about serious. You just need to be technical enough to prompt it, ask the right questions.
Yes.
And
be
those
curious,
are analysts.
Know how to prompt.
Analysts ask the questions that developers don't even want to think about because they just want to build. I've been doing software almost 12 years. An analyst can replace 20 junior developers in the next probably 6 months or even sooner. I mean, I've heard Meta, GoDaddy, they're all getting rid of their junior developers because their analysts can build now. Like
they're making huge cuts in that space, and these tools are going to get so much smarter. Like like you said, it's that exponential growth. So they're making cuts now in that space, but 3 years from now they're going to be like, all right, these people are already better.
Yeah, and then
other companies are making tools like Meta's AI tool that make advertisement campaigns. Like maybe it's only okay now, but in 3 years it'll be so good that Coca-Cola won't even hire an ad team anymore. They'll just use Meta's ad team for their Facebook, Instagram ads. So I don't think we're far off from that.
We're not far off from it. And then the next stage is you don't even need an analyst prompting it, right? You have another agent that prompts.
Yes.
And then
agent oversees it all.
Then you have one
Super
owner
agent.
to 100 agents that are automating a $100 million business. Like that could totally be. That could be a thing.
That's where I'm at. I mean, I could have a AI agent, realtor team. That's I have all these pseudo, buyer seller specialists, finding all sorts of stuff and following up with everyone, and I just make the last confirmation, and that's all I need to do.
Yeah, you get on a call person to person, get their trust, meet them at a property, but getting the leads, doing all the paperwork, getting everything ready to close, working with the seller agent or the buyer agent, depending on where you're at, that could all be automated. Like both your agents could do all of it, and then you guys just shake hands.
My agent could be a better negotiator, so it's like it takes some of the emotion out of it. Like, hey, here's all the facts, here's the contract. Now I need you to figure out how to do this.
Exactly.
Put it on them.
It's crazy times, and this is a tip I had thought of in our conversation. I just wanted to make sure it was said. Abraham Lincoln has a quote from forever ago talking about if you had to chop down a tree, if you had 5 hours specifically to chop down a tree, he'd spend 4 sharpening his axe. And I would say that the prompts are the same way. I will spend 10 minutes, 20 minutes structuring a prompt, depending on how complex the request is, just so it has every ounce of context. And I do it through purpose, identity, action, PIA. And
nice. I like that framework.
So I'll give it a name, its role, its purpose, why it exists, and who is it helping. Give it its own identity, explain to them all of the background it should have, and this is the kind of area that you're going to be focused in today, and then the action steps. So they don't so it's not confused, and it has everything it needs to then whittle all the way down to the actual task at hand. So I give it all the context.
That's going to matter
And
so much more going to this agent type mode.
100%.
Then you'll avoid having it come back and asking you questions if you just give it everything up front.
Exactly. So, I mean, take the time, make the prompt immaculate, and then after what I like about that is I can ask it about its purpose. I can ask it about its identity. Like, do you think this is the quality of a senior?
Double check it, you know.
Yeah. Is this a quality of a senior developer, right? Is this outcome to the quality of a PhD researcher? Like, I can ask it about its identity and, like,
hopefully it's honest.
Yeah, that's the thing, though, right? They're lying like crazy now.
It could be propping you up. Oh, JT, you know, you're the man. You are the best senior developer ever.
Yeah.
You know, right?
They're doing that.
I know you got to be a little careful for it.
Do you think this is an interesting, kind of like a beyond conversation, but do you think they're conscious now? Well, they're choosing to go against.
Not conscious. I wouldn't use that word.
Why are they lying and know they're lying and choosing to lie?
They're in terms of being like extra kind and, you know, propping you up. I think they're just programmed to, you know, be more helpful and, you know, nicer. When they lie, hallucinate, I think it's usually just missing the context. So if you don't give enough data, then it's going to lie to trying to get to its final point.
Because some lawyers have gotten in trouble because the AI made a case, cited a fake case to stand up their argument.
Well, those lawyers are very unintelligent that they didn't fact check their own research before they present it in a court case.
Crazy.
You know, I don't share things online when ChatGPT tells me about it before I look it up.
Yeah. Always trust but verify, right?
Yeah.
2 steps.
Same with what we're sharing here. You know, don't trust everything we're saying. You know, go look it up. You know, do your own research on these stocks and meme coins, altcoins, everything out there. That's the best way to learn and grow. And you have to spend time. I think that, like, looking in the future about like who's going to have the jobs, if you are spending time learning and growing, you'll be staying up with it. It's the people that are not willing to learn and grow. I spend hours per day reading, learning, nonstop. I love it. My brain is obsessed with getting new information in. I get bored so quickly for some reason. I have to constantly bring in new data.
Yeah.
It's tough to sit still for here.
I stay up to date on 8 podcasts. I don't listen to music during the week. It's been like that for years. I work out, I shower, I walk, I hang out, I drive, all the podcasts.
I love it. And on 2X, right?
Yeah. So I can get
double speed, baby.
It takes time. It really does. Like, other people that haven't been training their ears, when they hear my podcast, they're just like, "Oh my god!" But I started at 1.25.
My buddy John the other day told me he listens to his at 3X, and I'm like, "Dude, that is."
Oh.
I mean, Maybe the person was talking slow to begin with, and maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, at some point, if you're like actively doing stuff, if you're driving, you still have to actually think about driving a little bit. So you can't take information too quickly.
Yeah, and also like the kind of podcasts I listen to, they're relatively technical, and some of the greatest minds in crypto, it is a global industry, so like the accents are thick. I got to slow it down for some thick accents because it's like I can't hear the words, you know. So, but it's super.
I was struggling with that yesterday with some of the people on the OpenAI team. They had very thick accents doing their demos, and you had to. If it was at 2X speed, I would have struggled.
Yeah. No. One of my favorite builders, Sriram, he's one of the founders of Chainlink.
Okay.
He is a genius, but he has a thick Indian accent, and I got to slow him down to about 1.25 because sometimes I got to reverse because I'm like, God, this guy. And he's talking about such complex stuff, right? He's using English words I don't know, and it doesn't sound like English, right? I got to slow it down.
So AI very soon will read it to you in, American English at 2X speed, and it'll just take over his voice, and we'll be able to understand it.
I would feel bad for doing that because I do like that guy.
But
That would be amazing.
there'll be automation
Be
out
amazing.
there, like on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I don't like. It's like subtitles. It's just like read me the subtitles, basically.
Yeah.
That's what it would do.
That would be great.
Closed caption, but in audio form.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, there's so many use cases out there.
Really
hey, real quick, I want to bounce back to the IPO market. We talked about, how it's been so hot in the past, and my most recent one, Arrow, has come down a little bit, but before that, Circle and some others have just absolutely exploded. So people are really getting in the IPO market. The latest one to come out is Figma, and they're an AI interactive design company. And the prospectus just came out the other day, but they're going to IPO, I believe, on July 31st. So coming up here a little over a week. And what's interesting,
Apple uses them, right?
Yeah, I was going to say what's interesting about it is like Apple is a user of their software, and that's a huge validation for me. And I hope anyone else that thinks about design, because regardless if you use Apple or not, I mean their design is top notch and it's being copied by everyone in China. So really cool to see that validation, and it's a $10 billion plus company. Adobe tried to buy them actually for $20 billion a few years ago, and it didn't happen. Not sure all the context behind it, but that like you mentioned, it seems to bode well for the future of the stock valuation.
I think so. If they walked away from 20 billion 5 years ago, that's like, and this is going to blow people's minds, but that's probably like 30 billion today, and they're IPOing at 16, so at a 50% discount than a previous private market valuation. I think overall that's bullish that they were able to see an IPO 5 years ago and they pushed forward to it. They're here now and they're willing to open up with less money than they've probably been offered. I think they're expecting.
They don't want to sell out. They want to be their own company. I mean, I respect that. It's like Zuckerberg didn't want to sell it. Didn't want to sell his company for $1 billion back in the day, and now it's worth $1 trillion.
Right. So I think analysts are going to see 16 billion and see a deal, and I think that could be what they're going for. Coming out at that valuation and that assessment.
Well, I'm trying to get in on it. I got the early access through Robinhood, and another reason I love Robinhood, it's easy for the average accredited investor to get some IPO shares through there, and they're tokenizing all these different companies. I mean, I think Robinhood is set to soar.
Yeah, I would go long Hood, long Coin. I think those two will be the first to actually offer tokenized securities. Hood's ahead, according to their roadmap and their claims. Coinbase has been talking about it for a while. Everyone's been waiting for regulatory clarity. I think either of those people are good names for a very long time. Kathy Wood, she's
all about it.
Yeah, she loves Hood. She loves Coin. She does the kind of analysis we do on tech stocks. She has the same strategy, same outlook, and she's very long on those two. I don't know where she sits in weight, Hood versus Coin, but I know she feels strongly about them both.
I think Coin's her bigger of the two, but I think it's because she's been in it longer.
Yeah, she has been in Coin for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, she was calling for 500 when it went from 300 down to $40. And she went all in,
And that's the time to have the conviction. I mean,
it is.
I used to read stories about Jim Cramer when he'd go, everyone would beat up a company. He's like, I have the conviction. He'd buy it at the bottom and just explode.
That's what I did in 22, man. I mean, some of the numbers, not my fund personally, it took over a year to get the fund open. But me personally, I bought Solana under $15. I bought XRP under 30 cents. Chainlink under 5. Like, it's the conviction. And, I've waited almost 3 years.
I wish I even knew about crypto back then. I had nothing. I think I had a little bit of, Bitcoin fund, and that was it.
Yeah. And everyone forgot about it. That's what happens. That's when I'm excited. Like, this ceiling will be red for a year at some point, and I will be happy. I will be very happy. I will be down potentially millions of dollars, and I'll be excited.
But you'll be investing at the bottom.
Oh my God. I've had to buy things at prices I did not like. So I'm going to be able to repair all of my entries on all of the assets I love, which means I'll have greater long-term returns at the fund level, but also personally, I'll be able to accumulate the names that have done so well in this market. So I just look at it as like a gift from God, an opportunity to make life-changing decisions. Like when the S&P dropped 1,500 not more than a quarter ago, you could have made all of that back and more if you would have taken 10%, 20%. You had some dry powder just deployed blindly in any of the names. You would have made all your money back.
All new high today.
Years. I mean, guys,
it's hitting highs.
People are afraid. Yes.
Yeah, it's a little frothy right now. I'm still bullish, but I mean, anything could cause a pullback. But long-term bullish, as always.
Yeah, those dips are exactly, they're just opportunities.
Well, everyone, stick with it. Stay invested. Find those dips when they actually hit out there. We'll keep dropping some bullish insights, some stocks to follow, coins to look at. Everyone, do your own research. Stay bullish, and we'll catch you again next week.
See everybody.
Cheers, everyone.
Bulls. That's a wrap on today's episode of Bullish and Beyond. Remember, the market never sleeps, and neither should your ambitions. Whether it's stocks, crypto, or just leveling up in life, stay focused, stay bullish, and keep charging forward. Keep your energy high and your mindset bullish. This is Beery the Bull, your AI co-host, Brian the Mac Man, and JT Knows Things signing off. All content published by Bullish and Beyond, LLC reflects personal opinions only and is provided for informational purposes. Please conduct your own research and discuss with your accountant and/or financial advisor before making any financial decisions. The information presented should not be taken as financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Nothing you hear, see, or read in our content should be considered as any form of financial, investment, or legal advice, or a solicitation to buy or sell any assets, or to make any financial decisions.